Hello, another video. Has been a long time that I have been making longer videos. Been a really hectic end summer and autumn, so just have had no time. Lots of things to do, but now I think I will try to make them a bit more steadily. Yeah, it's beautiful day here at the moment. Show a bit here. There's a quite warm weather and sun is shining, so nice November weather. But yeah, the winter is surely coming. So in North Finland and even in Middle Finland, there's already snow. But I will go immediately into the matter. Yeah, so this is the new knife here, the Jääkäripuukko 110, and the video is about this knife, of course, but it's kind of obvious to make the comparison to the 140. So hence this is also with me here. Yeah, I got this knife about a couple of weeks ago, and ever since I got the 140 many years ago, I thought that I should actually also have this. And many have been commenting that they prefer this, and I have seen other people's reviews on this and so forth. Also, one friend of mine had this, and he said he preferred actually this to the 140. He tested mines, and then he said he preferred this. So then it's kind of, I was curious, and now I have this, and I think I now have actually all the Terava knives from Varustelleka. I think I have all of them, yeah. This was, I have a lot to say about this knife actually, which is surprising because it's so similar to the 140, but it's really got to me thinking like a bit of like, what do I like about knives and why I'm drawn to certain knives. So I will go straight to the point. Actually, I like this more than the 140, so that's interesting. And I chose the 140 because I just thought it's going to be more versatile blade. It's going to be better with camp tasks, batoning, etc. So just a little bit more length to the blade. So I thought, why not go with this one? But now, after have been using this extensively, so I've been carrying this 110 like all the time with me, and I really have like this. And the interesting thing, like, I don't really use that much the 140, so I use it here in the garden. But this is something this is a knife that I noticed that I take with me all the time. So the differences, where to start actually. Yeah, the interesting thing is that I think like with this knife, the benefits that this knife have over this kind of weighs more, so to speak. And it is quite interesting because they're very similar. The handles are identical, but the thing is that, how should I actually say that? There's a lot of things to say, but I just feel like this is more true to its character. That's maybe the point. So, and it was quite interesting because when I had this on my belt, firstly, it's a great EDC. So this is a fantastic like everyday EDC here in the countryside, because I don't notice it on the belt. If I have it, okay, I notice it, but it's kind of in the category of having a regular puukko with me. And that's one of the points of puukko, that they're lightweight and you don't notice them etc. So that's one thing. So I feel like this is have been a great EDC. And sure, you could say this is also good EDC, but the thing is that this is quite heavy. I feel this on the belt, so I will put the weight differences on the description. But there's a notable difference, because it's not only, you see, it's much longer the blade, but then also the sheets. So you have much more weight with the 140 sheet also. So I do notice it on the belt, kind of annoyingly even. So that's kind of limits the EDC use for me. If I want to do all sorts of things throughout the day, I want to have a knife that I really don't notice it at all, but then it's all the time there. I don't need to worry about it. And so this really fulfills that. And this interesting thing is that this 140, which is a great knife, this review video doesn't take anything away from this. So this is a great knife, but I just like this more. So yeah, the thing is that it's kind of heavy on the belt, and also the interesting thing with this one is that I like to have knives that kind of fulfill a certain purpose on my collection. So they have some characteristics, they have some nice elements in them that I don't have with other knives. And with this, it doesn't really, is not the case. With this one, for example, I much prefer the Peltonen M95 over this one. So I did review of those like in summer, and I just like that more, and that making that video confirmed that. So that's why I don't really, I notice I don't use it. I often just take the Peltonen with me, because it's in my opinion more versatile. It just has more like elements that knife of this size kind of for my use should have. Like you have the saber, it's more versatile, it's more, you have the tactical side, it's more comfortable to handle, and then again it does all the basically all the same things that this does. So it doesn't really fulfill a purpose, so that's why I just notice I don't use it that much. Although okay, I use it here in garden as a kind of workhorse tool. So but it's a great knife. It's a great knife. But with this one, I feel like this fulfills a purpose. This actually, I noticed I don't have a knife quite similar to this, and because it's interesting, it's like a puukko. The length is like basically a very typical puukko length. You have the Scandi grind. Well, it's full tang, but then it's a hidden full tang. So there's many elements which just makes this a puukko. But then again, it's much more robust than you would have a. It's much more robust than normal puukko and a workhorse knife, and that's one of the reasons why I really kind of like this. So it's kind of a super puukko, kind of workhorse, everyday EDC that it's really nimble. It's kind of nimble compared to the 140, and yeah, it's just interesting. And you have the same thickness, so it's really robust. You can baton with this, no problem. Of course, with this one you would have the extra length, but I still think this is really sufficient. And as a kind of EDC, I just love it, because this kind of checks all the boxes of kind of a no nonsense belt knife, puukko style knife, bushcrafter. Maybe I could even name this the best no nonsense EDC that I have really, and the elements which makes this, in my opinion, probably maybe my best all around EDC, like robust, like a no nonsense EDC, is that you have great steel. There's many videos that people are trying to damage the steel. It's really robust, bomb-proof construction. So you have that. Then it's the grind is great. I will do a convex here. It does good feathers. It's really nice. The handle is good. It's not perfect. I like the Peltonen more. It has more thickness here, so You feel a bit fatigue maybe with the woodwork here, but it's okay. But maybe above all, like the combination of this puukko, which is regular sized, almost finished puukko, which is really robust. You don't need to worry about it breaking it. It does everything you want it to do. But then you have a great sheath. So absolutely one of the best, most secure sheaths on the markets for really for knives in general. I've been ranting and raving about this sheath and also the Peltonen sheath in many videos. So even if this is open, now the button here, it doesn't drop. It's actually even quite good, the friction anyways, but then you can lock it in. And when I have this on my belt, I just don't need to worry about it a damn thing. I don't need to check if the puukko is there. It's there. It's not going to drop. So that makes this, in my opinion, like a fantastic, maybe the king of my like no-nonsense knives, like maybe a new category, no-nonsense EDC, but if that makes any sense. I don't really have this kind of, I have similar sized Bushcrafters, LT Wrights for example, but those are a bit more fancy knives. I love them, but like it's not in the same category. This is like you can go to anywhere you want. You don't need to worry about the weather. It's not breaking the bank anyways. The price is more than reasonable. So the whole package here is really great. And I've been mentioning this a lot in the videos. Like you shouldn't evaluate finish, or maybe any knives for that matter, only with the blade. So you need to look also the sheath, because these are belt knives. These are made for outdoors. So of course you need to evaluate the sheath. So here you have a like perfect combination. And then when you compare it to the 140, it's the same thing. You have the great steel. It's a robust steel. It has the same grind, the same sheath. But this is not an EDC for me, and that's the difference. So I just feel like here, like the benefits and the beautiful structure, like the sheath and all the good elements are more in the play here. So it kind of, I feel this is more in its element as this kind of a bushcrafter, no nonsense belt knife that you don't need to worry about. This is more tactical with the length and all. So I don't like to carry this all day, because you do feel it on the belt. And so maybe that's like it. So this is kind of often like I have been using this now for more than 2 weeks, like almost all the time. If I use a knife now, I have been using this one, and it's kind of like if you would have a pocket knife, if you would live in a city, you would have a pocket knife. This fulfills that purpose here for me in the countryside. I don't know that it goes many days. It's all the time on my belt. I go to the grocery shopping, I go everywhere, and it's just on my belt. And I forgot it's there, but when I need it, it's there, and it will do everything I want it to be. I don't need to worry a goddamn thing and not dropping it, and then I know that it didn't break the bank. So what's not to love about it? So it's great knife, and it's really interesting comparison, because both, like I said, I'm repeating myself, both are great, absolutely great, but I just really like this more. I use it more. I feel like this has a lot of future in my endeavors in the woods, so would consider this as a hiking knife. Really great for that. If I would have a larger blade or a saw or an axe, etc. with me, great for that. Not so much this. So I wouldn't take this maybe to a hiking trip. Really, this really has now for me like it has become this kind of garden knife for me. But yeah, let's check even the batoning with the smaller one. No problem really. So anyways, I don't baton through often. Here I can go through, but often if I have a larger piece of wood, it just makes sense to go a bit from the sides, and then it doesn't really show. Maybe I should this. No, sorry. Here. So it's great as the 140. No problem whatsoever. The grind is factory grind at the moment. We'll maybe do a slight convex there. Let's actually compare it now with the 140. With batoning, no need. Obvious that you would have with this one slight benefit being a longer blade. It's actually an interesting comparison, to be honest. I much prefer the 110 with this one. Even though that has the convex, but it has, I don't know. Actually, this factory edge is much better than with this one. When this came, it just wanted to dig deep, like it didn't really curl, so I had to do the micro convex. But this is it's much better here, the factory edge geometry. Yeah, but it's just much more comfortable and more pleasure to do the feathers. Of course, the balance is better. It's more lightweight. It's like you would have a normal puukko. The one thing is that the handle, if they would just make it a bit thicker, I would love it more. Yeah, it's interesting. So you can do it with this one. Okay, sure, no problem. But you feel the weight of the knife. I feel the balance is not optimal, definitely. The control. So, both are great knives. You choose your own for your purpose. I just like this much more. So, thanks for watching. See you later.